But one of the things I point out with this card is that he's got these crescent moons on his shoulders, and on his staff here. And so he's able to tap into his intuitive knowledge about which way to go at any given moment. The crescent moon represents access to our feelings, access to our subconscious mind. And that's what allows him to sort of lean on the left horse or the right horse, the subconscious mind or the conscious mind, irrationality versus rationality, more of the wild self or the practical self. He knows how to balance those energies, and he's not too much on one or the other side. He realizes that he needs both of them. So therefore, he's able to make quick decisions on the fly, know how to navigate to get where he wants to go. So that's a theme for you at the beginning of February, Virgo, is decision making and achieving the goals that you want to achieve. For some reason, I don't know why this is popping into my head, but I'm getting keep your eye on the prize. So if you're trying to accomplish something, part of why he is able to do that is because of his single-mindedness, his focus on his goal. So I'm going to say for some of you, for February, Virgo, keep your focus on your goals, where you want to go, what the path is to that, knowing how to make decisions as new circumstances present themselves to you, because that's going to be a theme for you. And Four of Coins. This is a card about stability, financial stability. Fours are always stable numbers, and coins represent the physical world or money or assets, possessions, finances. So Four of Coins usually means that either financial stability is coming to you or that that's on your mind, money's on your mind. But one of the things that's crucial about this card is that money's on his mind, blocking his heart, and he's got a coin on each leg, and each hand. So he's kind of immobilized by the consuming thoughts of money. Now, some people translate this card as fear regarding money or being worried about it, overly worried. I also accept that translation, and as well, I look at it as a Midas card, King Midas, who anything he touches turns to gold. It is a card of reaping rewards from hard work. That's Four of Coins, and people who have that birth date have that trait. But it can be excessive worry about money. And also it can be, we know from the story of King Midas that because everything he touched turned to gold, even if he tried to have a loved one, like give them a hug or give them a kiss, he couldn't do it because it was all, they would turn to gold. Everything became about money. So one of the things I usually point out with this card is that he's blocking his heart. And nothing, he can't think about anything else because money's on his mind. So what I also point out with this card is that when you have a closed fist, when you're trying to hold on to something so desperately because you're fearful of letting it go, you can't receive anything else. This is very fear-based energy. If you open your hand and loosen your grip, you're able to receive more. You're able to put yourself in a receiving position. Likewise, if you've got, say you imagine you have a stick of butter in your hand, if you try to hold on to it as tight as you can, it all just actually will squeeze out of your fingers. Whereas if you hold it gently with an open palm, you retain the thing in your hand, plus it allows more to be piled on top. So I'm going to say, if you're trying to grip at money, if you're trying to clench onto it and it's got that tight, pressurized, fearful energy to it, Virgo, try to loosen up, try to let go. Try to envision what it means to have an open palm, and if there's any rigidity, try to loosen that, and maybe it clears room for energy to come towards your heart as well. Then we have Seven of Cups in reverse and Empress. What's interesting is that Empress has to do with prosperity and abundance. If you look at the difference between these two cards, this is a card being so overconsumed with money that it literally surrounds you and immobilizes you. Empress has a different attitude towards money. She believes in the plentifulness of the world, and everything grows around her. What's interesting about these two is that everything that Four of Coins touches turns to gold, whereas everything that Empress touches grows. It becomes more abundant, more prosperous, more fulfilling, more satisfying. You know, it's life. And so I'd like you to consider the difference between these two cards, Virgo. This is a bit fearful. It's over-consumed with material possessions. It's fearfulness. This one trusts. Empress, that's why she's one of the major arcana, and this is not. Empress knows how to create. She knows how to not only receive, because she's considered the pregnant mother. So not only receive sustenance or receive things being given to her, but she also knows how to nurture them, as well as how to give birth to more and allow things to grow. So see if you can contrast those two feelings, because those are both available to you at the beginning of February. And what it may have to do with, Virgo, is identifying what's real and what's not. This is a card of fantasy and illusion. This is Seven of Cups. It means having multiple choices available to you. So I think what might be a good question when this cup comes up in the beginning of February is ask, what's a good investment of my time? What's a good choice? Because often this can be like, what's behind any of these doors, or what's behind door number 3. What you see is usually not what you get with this card, because it's got all this foggy Neptune energy. And in reverse, it's even hazier and foggier. So it's sort of like you can vaguely see that there's choices here, but you're not really sure what it is. So I'm going to say, excuse me, throat just got a little bit dry there. I'm going to say that with this Seven of Cups, try to see what is, you Virgos are so good at this anyway, is try to see what's a practical reality. Try to identify what's fear-based and what is trust-based. What is like holding on to dear life with all you've got versus what it is you can create and expand and nurture and receive. Those are the two different energies of these cards. So with this card of choices, in between, it's kind of like you have a choice to go in this direction, or you kind of have a choice to go in this direction. Which one do you want, Virgo? That's kind of what's being offered to you. And interestingly enough, this is a card about choices and decisions too. So it's really like there's a parting of the waters. Do you want to go down this fearful path, especially financially, because that's what this card is about? Or do you want to go down this path where you have a belief in your own satisfaction, your ability to nurture things, to grow things, to create things, and did I already say receive things? It's all of that. So do you want to be Empress, or do you want to be Four of Coins? Your choice. And identifying, taking a hard, cold look at your decisions will help you make that decision, help you identify which thing will lead you in which direction. Because another thing is with this card, this can often be a card of false things not being what they seem. So like I'll call this, I sometimes call this Las Vegas, where you gamble things or trade things away, or you think, oh, this is sort of like a get rich quick scheme kind of thing. It can be where you may want to just take an extra moment to really research and really be thorough about what your choices are, because it's sort of saying things may not necessarily be what they seem. So make a decision whether you're going to try to gamble with something because you're so fearful, or if you're going to nurture and grow things over time that may take time to grow, but that put you in a prosperous and abundant place, Virgo. And then in the middle of the month, I see there's Four of Swords here, which has to do about taking a rest, R&R, taking a moment out from battle to recover, to reflect, to put your thoughts up on the wall here. And if the beginning of February is a time for decision making and taking action and, examining choices, I'm going to say that towards the middle of the month, it's a time to rest and reflect. It may not be a time to take action, but because it's in reverse, it's telling me you're going to have a hard time accepting taking a rest. You're going to have a hard time letting yourself rest. And what I'm really getting for you Virgos, because you are ruled by Mercury, which is quicksilver and the mind and messenger and information, communication, that's all air energy here. It's going to be hard for you to put your mind at rest. But that's really what you will need at the middle of February, Virgo. You'll need to put your mind at rest. So for some of you, a retreat or a sanctuary, even something as simple as meditation or just taking a nap during the day is going to be good for you, Virgos, to settle your mind. Because there is something that is challenging your strength, your patience, your fortitude, your endurance here also in the middle of the month. There's someone, this card is called risky behavior, or putting your mouth in the, putting your head in the tiger's mouth is Seven of Swords. You can see here that he's like running away with five of these swords. It's very me behavior. It's very like, what can I do to get away with what I need? What can I do to cover my bases, even if I have to cut corners, even if I have to do criminality, even if it hurts anyone else, I don't care. I got mine covered. So whether this is you or someone in your environment, this is like a deal gone sour or someone trying to have an unfair advantage, Virgo. It's funny, I'm picking up on this gambling theme. These are both 7 cards, and 7 is a spiritual number. So what I'm really getting, when we dismiss and avoid the spiritual, we see things on a superficial level. I'm going to really encourage you in the first 2 weeks of February to look at things for really what they are. There is a chance that superficiality can pull a fast one on you. If there's something that's presenting itself as a very attractive choice, it may end up being this. You might find out at the middle of the month. So this is why this is in reverse. And it's saying, take a good hard look. Again, when this is in the upright position, it's like things are not what they appear to be. In the reverse, it's even more covered and hidden. So really examine your choices at the beginning of the month, Virgo, because I'm seeing the 7 show up again. And it's going to try your patience. This is strength, which is a card of, again, patience, fortitude, endurance, strength. And this card has to do with softness. It's not hard control like this. You'll see that these follow each other in the major arcana. This is card 7 and this is card 8. So she's a graduation. She's the next step of evolution from Chariot. Chariot knows how to control things through hard control of the mind. Strength knows how to control things through control with the heart, with softness. This is hardness. This is softness. This is victory, dominance. She's able to achieve magical results and fantastical things, taming of the beast. She opens the lion's jaws, not through strength of force or will, but through strength of endurance, compassion, softness. So that's what's being challenged in the reverse position. That's what is being, you may not have access to that because see what's surrounding that is these 2 sevens cards. So again, I'm going to say any investment in superficiality or your choice towards that is going to drain your strength. So be aware of that for February. Be aware of not getting carried away with false promises, with things that are all that glitters is not gold, is what this says. So just be aware of that. Look at things twice, review contracts, really get to know someone before investing in them. It's just sort of like saying, do your homework, do your research. And then there's Hermit here too, which I'm connecting with this card. Like when this card runs away with all the riches, this one's left in the cold. Like literally Hermit is left out in the cold. And the low side of this card, because it's in reverse, I'm reading it in reverse, is that sometimes it can feel isolating. Like no one understands me. Where are all my friends? what's going on in the world, where's the truth, where's the way, where's the path. But when a card shows up, whether in reverse or not, it means that its energy is available to you. So what Hermit is about is looking at the truth. And I'll say truth with a capital T. So he is a very disciplined person. He's got that personality of the disciple, someone who studies hard and looks at the truth, strips everything away that is excessive. It's almost the opposite of this card, as you can see. Like, this promises riches, wealth, success, victory, triumph, love, castles in the air, all of this. But Hermit is almost the antidote to that. He says, no, what's true? What's real? What is, like, if I can boil it down to just one thing, what's the truth? So I'm really getting a sense, Virgo, with all of this, that there is something about looking into something to see what's the real option, what's the real truth, what is a superficial decision versus what is sustainable over time. Like Empress, the seasons are eternal with Empress. She's the queen of summer and spring, and everything grows under her. She is the mother that gives birth to the child that continues living. So it's not just like a quick thing, like 4 of coins, like, oh, I've got all my money in the treasure chest and no one's ever going to touch it. There's aliveness here. There's life. There's vitality. So I'm going to say, don't let like, I don't know why, but I'm kind of getting like the difference between eating candy bars and eating like a full 4-course meal. Like, this might be the equivalent of the candy bars, and this might be the 4-course meal. So while one may sustain you in the short term, you might have to think about long-term things and not just what's attractive and what things appear to be on the surface. That's kind of what I'm getting for you with these cards. Because it's going to challenge your strength. I kind of get like your patience is being tried here. That's why this rest and relaxation is going to be so necessary for you, to like just get to a calm, reflective, peaceful, recharged place. Because if this guy shows up, or if he turns out to be from one of these decisions here, it is going to try your patience, and it is going to make you feel like, God, where did everybody go? How did that guy run off with all that stuff? I thought I trusted him. I'm almost getting that this could be an employee. But it could be a partner. It could be just someone you're. It's kind of related. You know what I'm just getting now, seeing this, is that because he's in line with this four of coins, it could be that if you make a decision based out of fear with money, this is the end result of that, or this is a consequence of that. So really do take time to connect with Empress energy, which is abundant, satisfied, growth, prosperity, things that are alive. Things that are alive versus things that are dead. Gold, even though it's an element, it doesn't have any vital life force to it. So that's what I'm getting for the first few cards, the first few weeks of February for you, Virgo. And then towards the end of the month, I show some sweet, sweet energy here. I almost get that some of you are going to meet someone at work if you're not already paired up with someone. 8 of Coins is the artisan card, or the person who's working on their workbench. You can see that he's at his workbench and there's 8 coins. He's kind of just making money, and he's got his head down. He's just working on something. He's focused on it. I sometimes call this card whistling while you work, because it means enjoying your work and producing money. And with it showing up next to 6 of Cups, this is very sweet energy. Like, this is the exchange of hearts. So I almost get like you could meet, if you're an artist, you could meet a fellow artist or someone to do with work that you kind of discover, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm a kid when I'm around them. Or this could also be a card of reunion with someone from the past, or it could even be like working with one of your siblings, a family member. It's just a very sweet card. Has a lot of sentimentality to it, has a lot of kindness to it. If you can imagine 2 kids giving each other cups filled with flowers, it really just has that darling, sweet, sentimental, lovely, childlike, innocent character to it. So enjoy that, Virgo. If you're working away at the end of the month, don't be surprised if this shows up for you. Sometimes this can be like a phone call or a communication from someone that you haven't heard from in a long time. Or that if you connect with someone, it could be also for some of you like a former lover coming back when you're just working away. So there's a lot of different possibilities with this Six of Cups card, but it's very sweet regardless. And then Three of Swords in reverse. This is a card of heartbreak, a disappointment, betrayal. You can see just in the card, it's a card of sadness where there just feels like there's a dark cloud above you. In the reverse position, there might be something that you're either suppressing or that it's not quite as bad as, say, the Three of Swords in the upright position. It might be like a remembrance of a breakup with someone. I'm getting this card is very positive. So I'm not sure if this is related to someone else. This could be like an old breakup with this person and they re-show up and things are new again. Or this could be like, being with this person makes you forget an old heartbreak. Like this is starting to dissipate because of the sweet energy that's showing up. And this card, Five of Clubs, means playing versus fighting. So sometimes this card can show up in two different ways. It can mean competition. It's got very Mars energy, so it can mean like fighting, like competing for a prize or competing for a goal, or fighting over a limited amount of resources. But it also has a fun side to it. So this could be like kids playing, or it could be like flirting. It could just be like open banter that's like sarcastic and lively and playful between friends. We see guys doing this with each other all the time, where they'll like knock each other down a few pegs, but it's all in fun. So the sense that I get with these two together